I haven't watched all of it, but I have been attentive, no question. Um, Even though I've been away, you need to check in and make sure that your product is being represented by the right people. And I'm a fan of Drew's. I appreciate what he's done. I appreciate the long road to his success that he's traveled. Um, my question though is he ready? And we're not going to know until he steps in the ring with me. Um, I don't think you're going to get any surprises. That's if you're a logical human being, understanding what his um, his strengths are and where I need to put chinks in his armor so that I can destroy him. I think that if you look at breaking down an opponent logically, no one will be surprised as to what I do. There are many out there. I think they could cross over. It's do they want to? Um, I think the ones that I think could do it have never been brought up in the conversation. Um, I think professional football players are the number one hotbed of talent to make the transition. I really do, and I say that not as an ex-professional football player, but I say that as a realist. Knowing what they go through, knowing their work ethic, knowing their attention to detail, knowing they're savvy with the PR. Um, rugby might be the next one in line. I always like to tell people that I'm a competitor, not a performer. And I never aspired to be a television star, a movie star, anything like that. That's not in my plans by any means. I enjoy it. Um, Being on the Goldbergs, being on NCIS, we've got a new show being developed right now, a series, an action series, and then there's a car show up. We're talking about what network that's going to go on, but I like doing things that I enjoy. Doing a series based upon like an A team and me being the leader of it. I mean, that's right. That's right in up my alley. Doing a car show, racing across the country, or racing against four American versus imports, anything to do with automobiles. That's what I love to do. Do I aspire to be that guy on TV? Not at all. But I aspire to continue my love of the automobile. And if that brings me a job to hosting something on television, I'll do it in 2 seconds. I'd love to. But um, as far as doing something a far departure from my normal everyday life anymore, I don't know if I would invest the time and or effort into doing something like that. So going away and doing a 6, 8 month movie role, I don't I don't know if I ever wanted to do that, to be honest. But I don't foresee that as my future. Well, firstly, he should be flattered because I'm a hell of a lot better looking than he is. Um, but it used to really piss both of us off, and we've talked about this exponentially because I like to say we're pretty good friends. But I always took it personally, and it made me mad because Steve Austin's like 250 and I was 285, 290. So I thought that if they thought I was Steve, then they thought I was small, right? And for a guy who's a defensive lineman who walks around trying to be as big as he is, as he can be, I took that as a slight, not because they thought I was Steve Austin, the awesome wrestler, but because I was small, right? So there's another layer to it. But throughout the years, we used to both get really pissed off. Now I think it's hilarious. Um, and we actually try to bring it up to each other when it happens. It's pretty fun. Oh my God, I wouldn't be living and breathing if I didn't make that statement. There was no other match for my sake that needed to happen more so than that one. It was a timing issue. It was just a timing issue and an injury issue. And I love him exponentially, man. He's a great dude, and to have graced the ring with him, in a match would have been absolutely phenomenal. Uh, I took a trip to Glasgow and did a signing, and it was absolutely drop dead. One of the most gorgeous places, one of the coolest places that I ever set foot. Um, I've been a lot of places around the world, and Saudi Arabia was awesome. It was completely different than the impression that you have of it, especially being Jewish. It was definitely different for me. Going to Japan, I always loved Japan. Australia was unbelievable. Um, Playing football in the World Football League, going to Germany, and then going to Barcelona. Anytime I go to London, it's awesome. So I mean, there's so many wonderful places. There truly are. I really miss the sushi in Japan. Well, I mean, the usual suspects. I mean, um, I do believe that a Drew McIntyre, a Keith Lee, and a Ricochet. And I mean, I've always been Finn Balor. I've always been a huge fan of his. So I mean, I'd have to say those four, are the future. There's no question about it. In my opinion, and what do I know? Wow, that's an interesting question. You know, I'm going to plead the fifth and just say I don't care. It doesn't matter because I got to get through Drew first. And right now he's the only one on my mind. I'm not looking past him for 1 second because he deserves the respect, from a guy like me. He really does. And so I hope that I can conquer him absolutely. And whoever the opponent is that wins the Rumble, that gets to compete against the champion on the 11th or the 12th. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful fight, whoever it is. But I got to kick Drew's ass first.